Test, test, test. Okay. Yup, we got audio. We got audio. Oh man, hold up. Okay. Make sure I got this on. Yeah, I think we're good. I don't know why this was such a struggle to set up. What are we doing? Here we go. Let's turn that down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit, man. We're here. We're live. We're live. This is random. This is super random. I didn't plan this. I did not. Oh, I guess I did, but I didn't at the same time. Like I didn't think yesterday, yo, 135 or 33, I guess. I'm gonna be live. Like I did not plan this, but we're here. And y'all are here too. My man Richie's in the building. Says, let's go dose. I'm fired up for this one. Goff back to his stomping grounds in Los Angeles. Could be better than a trip to the big dance. Could be better than a trip to a big dance. Oh, I got it. Then, not then. Okay, then a trip. You and Dose of Dad going to be losing it with joy. Colton is in the building. Patty Grimes is here. Drew Sy, am I pronouncing that right? How y'all doing, man? Hey, look. So this is kind of like a pre-show show. That's what this is. We're gonna be live, and I think it's pinned. I don't know. I think it's pinned. It should be pinned. Yeah, it's pinned at the top. We're gonna be live there at 2:30. So this is like a pre-show to that. But I also wanted to talk some things, all right, and give some legitimate time to this. Like I wanted to talk a little bit before we go live on that show, where we're gonna preview the Lions Niners with the Niners guy. But there is a chance that we get a Niners guy to join this show about 2 o'clock for about 15, 20 minutes to answer some questions about the 49ers. I didn't want to put that in the title because I can't confirm. All right. It was very late notice that I gave him kind of this update because I didn't know I was going to go live. But I was like, hey, if you want to do it, you can hop in, man, and we can talk a little bit about the 49ers. So that's a possibility as well. Let's go Lions. What up, Dose? What up, Michael? So we're going to we'll probably see if that thing happens at 2. But we got about 25 minutes before. And where I want to start with this, man, and honestly, this is what this is, man. I'm just kind of leaving this up to the chat. Whatever y'all want to talk about, man. If you got something you want to talk about, we can talk about it. We can discuss it. If there's something you want to talk about the game, whatever you want to talk about, man. This is kind of like a open, we're just chatting, man. Kind of like a pregame show. But I did want to talk a little bit about Jared Goff. If we don't have nothing to talk about and no one has anything that they want to discuss, we can discuss Jared Goff a little bit because I think that is a good topic to dive into. It's kind of the thing that's like going on behind the scenes a little bit. We dropped our preview / prediction today. So that's kind of like a little behind the scenes thing that I think is worth discussing a little bit. Is a Jared Goff extension. Michael said, I'm loving the matchups in this game. This was something that I actually thought about doing. I guess I still could. I don't know. I was thinking about doing this on Bleacher Report actually first off because I was trying to come up with ideas. And I was like, hey, what if I did like 5 best matchups for the Lions in this game? Like if y'all be interested in that. I don't think I can do it live because I would just be kind of going off the top of my head. I mean, I think I know what those would be, but I'd like to plan it out. What's one key for the Lions for a Lions win? One key for the Lions win, man. I think a key for the Lions win. I don't want to keep it basic, like win the turnover battle, because that always feels like the answer. I would say keep Christian McCaffrey under 100 rushing yards. I don't know if that guarantees a win. Maybe like 90. See, here's the thing, and I saw this stat last night. 70 rushing yards per game. The Lions have not allowed a 70-yard rusher, I believe, this season to anybody. Now, some of that has been like some running backs have been more efficient than others, but I don't believe they've allowed that to anybody. And Christian McCaffrey, I think 12 of the games this year, he's went over 70 rushing yards. So maybe that's the benchmark. Like if he doesn't hit 70, even if they have Debo, I'd be super confident because no one's done that. At the same time, I kind of expect McCaffrey to do it. But I think Dan Campbell said it right. Like this is a team that as much as they're explosive in the passing attack, and Purdy's been great statistically, it does start with the run. And they brought up, the last NFC championship where they won, and they had 8 passing attempts, I think it was. So it does start with that. What's up, Jordy? How you doing, man? Good to see you in the building. Appreciate you joining. You should add playoff stats as well. Yeah, see, that would. I like that. I do like that. The offense will score 35, so we should be good. We score 35, we're winning. If we score 35, we're absolutely winning. What's so cool about this too is that this is who we opened up against for the Dan Campbell era. At Ford Field. I was at that one. I'm not going to this one. But at Ford Field, man, this is how we opened it up. Now we're going on the road a few years later to play them to get into the Super Bowl. It's like crazy how full circle that is. And then imagine on top of that, if we ended up playing Kansas City and it was like, hey, the team that we opened the season with, we get to run it back. Like, Bro, that would be just a wild, I don't know. That whole thing would be wild. But we're right there. We're right there. And I don't think it's sunk in for me yet that we're actually right there, right in that spot to do it. But I would say, man, like, that's probably the biggest thing is just limiting McCaffrey if possible. Because the thing with McCaffrey is he doesn't even need good blocking. Like he doesn't even need good block. He gets on a DB, he usually makes the first guy miss, like every time. So it's like he's gonna make somebody miss almost every run. He's just so good. So one, this has to be like the Lions' best tackling game in space. But if you limit him, I think everything is questionable with their offense. Everything can become questionable with their offense, especially if we're scoring 35. Then they're going to really have to stop running the ball. If we can run the ball against them, we can win. Well, we're going to win then. If that's it, we're going to win the game. I guarantee we'll be able to run the ball against this team. I guarantee it. The only way we don't is if the Lions get away from it. There is no part of me that believes the Lions won't be able to run the ball all over this team. There's not a single part of me because I think we're so flexible. I mean, I understand the questions with, KO'd. Right? He's stepping in left guard. It's a big part. It's a big factor. But even with that, like, there's not a part of me that doesn't believe that stylistically the Lions can't find something that's going to bring success in the run game. They're going to run the ball on this team. So for me, like, if that's what it is, and I think it's a big part of it, it's a big reason I'm confident in this one because the Lions will find a run game. Whether it's Montgomery, Gibbs, outside, inside, they're going to find it. What's up, Charles? I see you. You almost came back in that one. Yo, that game was fire. I was watching it last night because I was doing the preview video. I was working on it, and I was like, let me go check out the 2021 game. I was like, let me like bring it back, and I can't get the all 22 of it, I guess, but I had like the the broadcast version, and I was like, man, bro, we look so different. Like, and even part of me doing it, I was like, wait a minute, Ben Johnson ain't even calling plays. And I heard this thing. This is off schedule. I heard this thing this week where someone brought up how Dan Campbell doesn't call plays. I'm like, well, he did. Like, it's easy to forget, though, but, because people will want to, they want to find any way to knock Dan Campbell. Oh, he's not the play caller. Okay. He did call plays, so we got to give him some credit for that. I mean, he did call plays at one point, so I will say that. My man, hey, how you doing, man? It's good to see you in here, Charles. Every game has an interesting narrative for the Lions. It's meant to be. We're winning it all. I agree, man. I agree. And this is like where you just slingshot yourselves into like, yeah, for years to come, we're going to be a problem in the NFC. Everybody wants to come in every year, talk about Philly, which we saw how that ended. But San Fran is like the best representative of the NFC, I think, over the last, like, honestly, you go back a long time because Harbaugh had them rolling. And then Shanahan, they had some down years. Like, they had injuries the one year where they won like 3 games, but then they were rolling again. So, like, it feels like over the last, like, decade, bro, it feels like over the last decade, like, this is like, there's not a better team to represent the NFC in terms of just consistency. The best feels like every single year. They've also had their historic runs in the past as well. So, like, this is like the perfect team to like anchor yourself into. It's not like we beat Philly and then they fell. It's like, no, you're playing the top of the NFC. What it's felt like for years now. I think Gibbs and Dave Montgomery are major key. Yeah, I think they're going to cook. I mean, it really just depends on, I think, where they find comfortability rushing the ball, which guy will. But to me, Gibbs is key. Now, Monty, we know he can make guys miss, but to me, it's Gibbs. Because Gibbs in this one, as good as Warner is as a tackler, and these defensive backs are when they step into the box, Gibbs is special, man. Like, this is what he's built for, these special moments where it's like he's just got a little bit more than everybody else, man. I think Gibbs has that. If you look at these coincidences, you may even think it was planned. I mean, maybe. We need to have the ball. Maybe have long ball. Hey, and that's what Green Bay did really well, Patty. So that's a good point. They did really well. Deion, serious question. What would it mean to you if the Lions win the Super Bowl? Will you cry? Dang, I don't even know. I probably would. I don't know. The last time I cried on this channel, I think was when Stafford got traded. I don't think I've cried since then. That was also a long time ago now. It's crazy how fast time has flown by. So I don't know. I guess I don't know because it wouldn't be planned. It would just like happen if it happened. But I wouldn't doubt that it's a possibility. I wouldn't doubt it. For me, what makes me like it's so weird because I'm so much shaking this like a one game at a time kind of deal. Not like I'm forcing it, but it's just like I'm confident the Lions are going to win these games. Like the last 2 weeks, I felt very good we're going to win. Definitely felt good about Tampa. Rams, I knew they'd give us some problems because I wasn't confident in how we were going to slow down that offense. I'm still confident we win, but I didn't know how we slow down their offense. And, we make key stops there. And in that entire game, not until the end, that I was like a little bit like, ooh, hold up. They're about to get in field goal range. Tampa Bay, I was confident the whole time, even at half. In this game, I'm confident. Like I said, though, San Francisco, it's almost like the Rams kind of with their run game. Like, in a way, I don't know how – if stopping their run game feels like a ridiculous challenge. a ridiculous challenge. Like I don't think there's a great answer to just say here's how we slow it down, other than just saying like, hopefully we slow it down, because it works so well. It's so flexible. But like I said, when my man brought up earlier, if we run the ball, we win. I'm so confident we'll be able to run the ball that I'm confident offensively we're going to put up points against this team. And then defensively, like I think we're going to take the ball away. I think we'll get pressure. I think we'll take the ball away. I think we'll beat up the right side of the offensive line. So I'm right there, Michael. Like I haven't really been nervous. And it's weird because I think in the past when you play, what's up, man? I say dude a lot. Okay. What's up, dude? Hey, in the past, I think when we play a lot of these close games, man, and you guys know this, whenever year, like we've played a lot of close games, but like 2016, for example, where like every win was a comeback win. When it's like that, I feel like every game is really difficult, man, because it's like, hey, it's coming down to the wire. Over the last couple of years, we've had games that have done that. But not only have we had those games, we've also had the blowouts. But even in the games that have come down to the wire, like the Lions have just found a way most of the time to just find a way to win. And it's not happening just on one side of the ball. It's not like it's always the offense that has to pull through. So like I'm trusting in like, oh, the defense is going to get off the field. Like we're going to do something. I don't know. It's a weird confidence that I don't think I've ever had as a Lions fan. Maybe that's from doing the YouTube stuff. Maybe that's from just watching the All-22. And it's like how you get a different perspective. You know, I think when you get that different perspective, and that's why I love doing those videos, for me, it takes a lot of the emotion out of it, because then I don't focus so much on like, man, what happened? How do you drop that? Like, what was it in his head or something? Like, it's more about just like, yo, okay, that guy wasn't open. They did this. But at the same time, like, there's just a confidence because they've just found a way all year. I'll be honest, I cried a little last game, but if we win this, I might boo-hoo. Hey, look, I get it. I ain't even mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. I might too. By the way, I don't know if I'm supposed to put this out yet, so let me hold it. I want to say something, but like, it's pretty fire. It's pretty fire, but I'm gonna hold it. All right, maybe we'll go live Saturday when everything's kind of like clear what we're gonna be doing for this weekend's game. We got something special for you this weekend. This is not gonna be like your hey, we're live. This is gonna be special. All right, let me just say that. So I won't go into the details, but stay tuned. Stay tuned. I might cry worse than Sharon Moore did for Jim Harbaugh. That's great. That's great. Is he gonna be the next head coach? I don't know. That's a side topic. I remember that same old Lions feeling from back in the day. Bro, you're just confident at the end of games. Bro, what if we line up Houston and Hutch on the same side? You absolutely could. Absolutely could. I mean, the only thing with this is that, you know, like most games, you'd have to be very specific on when you did that. You definitely could not do that on first and second unless it's like a really long spot. The issue for that usually is when the Lions try to put Hutchinson inside, they just run at him. And when you run at him against the guard, he just gets moved off the spot. Usually there's not a lot of success that comes with it for us. So you almost have to feel very confident they're going to throw the ball in that spot. But I think, yeah, on obvious pass downs, absolutely. Now, with that, like, yes, because if you could put him on the right side of the offensive line, right, and you allowed Hutchinson to go one-on-one with the guard, and you put, for example, if you got like Houston against McKivitz, I don't think that dude can keep up. So I think Houston, just in general, playing in this game, even if it's just a few snaps in those passing spots, is going to be a game changer because I don't think they deal with quickness well. So I think we'll see him this week. That's my point. We win it all. I'm crying. I bet such a diehard man. I think there'll be a lot of tears. These are special times for Lions fan. Don't take it for granted. Absolutely. This is well said because that was kind of like my message to myself coming into this year was after 2016, how long it had been since we'd been back. I just kind of assumed we'd be back, even though we didn't win. It's like, we're going to be pretty good. And bro, everything just kind of fell off. Yeah, I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying not to do that. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's so weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I've never seen something like this. Maybe some of you guys in chat, put a 1 if you were alive when the Lions won a playoff game before this year. And if you watched it, not if you were like 2 and you're like, oh yeah, I was like, nah. If you like remember watching it. Like, I've never seen anything like this. So like in a weird way, I don't really know what to do with it. I'm like, okay, we're winning playoff games. It's weird. We're still playing football. Like, I get caught up in the fact that, yo, there's really only 2 games left this season. I mean, there's 3. But the season's basically over. Like, we're there. And most times I'd be upset because I'm like, oh, man, the NFL season's about to end. But I'm confident the Lions are going to win, so I'm not even thinking about that. There's some ones in the chat. There's some ones that are not me. did not exist. I feel you there. Once, if you were alive. I'm just being honest, bro. I wasn't alive. I was not. What was that? 91, right? 91, 92 kind of deal. Bro, that's a long time ago. It's a long time ago, man. Still no respect. We will have it Sunday p.m. I agree. Purdy is now Montana. And the 49ers are unbeatable. Green Bay exposed them. Gives them the blueprint how to beat them. 28-17. I love that. They definitely ain't unbeatable. 1991, slaughtered by Washington. And I had just moved to Michigan to the D.C. area. From Michigan to the D.C. area. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, that's rough. This whole season been extraordinary. Just know what's happening. I competed. Competed at the Silverdome in punt, pass, and kick. Oh, what? Okay. Dang. Okay. You were 11, 2. I was 21. Dang. See, does it feel similar, though? Like, do you have, like, similar feelings, like when you saw them win a playoff game? Or does it feel different? CBS Sports said Chris Spielman's brother, Rick Spielman, was busy helping Washington find a coach. And we know he loves Ben Johnson and his brother's team. So I think that there must be a connection. I think so, too. Yeah, that's from what I've heard, too, is that it sounds like Ben's going to go there. Which, you know, I mean, hey, I'd hire him. Like, bro, I'm not even, like, trying to, like, hype myself up. But we were going to do a segment on last week's Bet US show, which, was it Bet US? No, it was on the round table. So many shows. But one of them was, like, coaching hires. And the one I had right, I've had a couple wrong now. The one I had right was actually Callahan. I, for whatever reason, was like, Callahan Titans, so I circled it. I had that right. I wish they would have had me on that final segment, man, because I was like, I would have won the final segment. I would have got the points. I didn't. That's a little side note. But I've been wrong since then. I would have hired Ben Johnson if I'm going offense coordinator. Like, okay, Callahan, yeah, he's been doing it for 3 years. I get it. He's got more experience, right? Ben's really only been doing this for 2 years. I mean, really, he's more in mix 2.5 years ago. He's really been doing it for 2 years, you know, but if that's what I'm going for, that's my top hire. I don't know every other team as well. Cincinnati's done a great job with backups. Browning, they had him looking comfy as a quarterback, but Ben Johnson's just different. He's just different, at least from what I've seen as a Lions fan. He's just different, man. I said, dang. I did say, dang. That wasn't to be disrespectful. It's just like, yo, that's wild. We need because I'm thinking how old I am. We need a shot of Dosen Rad before the Super Bowl game. We got to figure something out. It sounds like he's coming down for the draft, so that's gonna be fire. Like that's what we're trying to get him this weekend, but he's got work, understandable. But sounds like he's coming down for the draft. So at very least, we'll have something fire for that. Deuce gets the job over Tanner if Ben leaves. I would be shocked if Deuce Staley got the job. I mean, you mean as offense coordinator here? Didn't he just get a new job, or I thought he just got a new job. Is it back here? Did I miss that? Oh yeah, Brown's hired him as running back coach. Wait, is that what you're talking about? Deuce Staley? I do think Tanner makes the most sense. He has a similar path to Ben Johnson. He's followed basically Ben Johnson up as Ben Johnson has progressed. So I think that he's kind of in that next path up. When does the team fly out? Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I know that whenever I would go to the Colts games this year, the away teams would. Oh, that's actually a good question. Like we saw some of the away teams pull up. The one bus that I saw the LA Rams pull up there. That was fire. I didn't get to see like Stafford or nothing. That would have been sweet. But I did see their bus pull up. I was like, oh, Staff, I think that's the team. So I don't know. Maybe the weekend, because I'm sure they're gonna want to get like their practice in here. I'm sure they're going to want to get through at least Friday, and then maybe Saturday they travel, and then they can like maybe they'll travel Saturday after. Kind of like work out early and be like, hey, man, how's people feeling? Like injury kind of deal. And then we'll fly, and then we'll decide who's actually going to fly with us. Maybe it's more of that kind of thing. That's what I would think. Because it's also a night game. Wait, is it night there, though? I don't think it is. Isn't it like 3:30 there? See, that changes things. You got to dye the hair grayish silver. I'm going to do the blue. That's what I'm planning for. The only way I wouldn't do the blue is if is for the headsets that we're gonna have. But outside of that, where's Rad? Yeah, Rad's at work. He actually left. Today's Friday, 2 days ago, or no, yesterday. I was texting him, because I was trying to get him on. It didn't really work out, and then he had to take off. Hey, Dose, what are your thoughts? He'll be watching. Ben Johnson to assistant head coach so he can't leave. I mean, I would do whatever it takes. My man could be assistant special teams coach. He can be, I don't even like, bro, assistant quarterback coach. He could be whatever he wants to be titled, man. I would absolutely do that if that kept him here. 100%. I would do whatever I could to make sure Ben Johnson stays here. I don't think he will. I think Ben Johnson wants the opportunity to go coach, which I get. I mean, when I really think about it for where Ben Johnson came from, though, chat, like if you think about it, this was a dude that, like, really, I mean, a couple years ago, we didn't know who this dude was. And he kind of just shot himself into a spot because of the struggles that the Lions had. And he gave himself an opportunity. Still wasn't the OC, but Dan Campbell noticed him. And it was like, okay, now he's going to be the OC. Like, he really kind of came out of nowhere. So I think you can understand when you look at, like, just what he's done in the past, why he'd jump on that opportunity just because of how fast the rise has been. And also at the same time with, like, how difficult it is to land a head coaching spot. Also, you're getting people that recycle through. Like, I think if I was a coach and that's what I want to do, I think you have to jump on it. It's a credit to Ben that he came back last year, honestly, because if he could have got a job, I don't know if he could have got a job, but if he could have got one last year and he didn't take it, like the fact that he was like, yo, we'll have success again. Don't worry about it. But like, bro, you got to get in there while it's hot. You know what I mean? Like while it's hot, you got to jump in there. You got to get your job. So I would jump in there if I were him, if that's what I wanted, as soon as I could. You're on the West Coast, 4:30 out here. Okay, so it's a 2-hour difference. Is it 2 or 3 hours? I thought it was 3. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just wrong on that. I don't know. What impact will Houston have on pressuring Purdy? I think it'll have a big impact because he's too quick. I think that's the one issue with their interior offensive line, which is for the most part. But I think also against their tackles, all you have to do is get a step. And if anything, Houston can create an inside step. He doesn't even have to win. But what that does is it'll pull out the guard and it'll also take the tackle with him. So as long as he can maintain somewhat balance and just get a step and force the tackle to open, that's when you create some of those natural pass rush lanes, the ET stunts, where you could just work him around, right? Was it end steps in, you can work guys around. Because against Purdy, you still have to be aware of your pass rush lanes, and especially if you're a man. My mouse just fell. This looks wild. My mouse just fell. This looks wild. Oh, it's 3 hours. Okay. What do you think Ben takes with him? Who do you think Ben takes? Oh, that's a good question. Hopefully not Tanner, because I think he's the next guy up. That's actually a good question. I don't know. Maybe like Kelvin Shepard. Like if Aaron Glenn stays, maybe he tries to take like Kelvin Shepard with him. That's a good. I never even thought about that, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's a good question. All right, chat, because it's almost 2, I do want to do this. Give a quick shout out to our partner for this NFL season. You guys know it. It's BetUS. Use that top link description. You deposit at least $100. You get a 125% match up to $2,500. And I want to give them a shout out before because we could potentially have a special guest on here in a few minutes. So I just want to give a little shout out, get this in, and we'll come right back here. But BetUS has been hooking us up in a way that I want to do it. I'm going to go to their website here. Again, you can use that top link. You can see they're going to try to chat with me here. But as you can see right here, man, I want y'all to let me know. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do a show tomorrow. I assume we will. But if not, I want to know your picks, man. Now, we'll go to the Lions here in a second. But I want to start with Kansas City first. Kansas City, Baltimore. I think most people want Baltimore to win for reasons. But, Chad, what do we think about this, man? Tell me who you think wins this game, and then give me your pick based on the spread. I think Baltimore wins. But I'm going to be honest. With that spread, I'm taking Kansas City. But I think Baltimore wins this football game. That's where I'm going with this one. I don't feel extremely confident about it, though. I love that defense for Kansas City. It's real. I don't have the most confidence in their offense, but their defense is real. So I'm going to go there. Anything with Aaron Glenn coaching interviews? Okay, we'll hit that in 1 second. Kansas City 27-21. Oh, you think Kansas City's about to win? Anybody else think Kansas City's about to win this game? Chat, who you got? Baltimore, Kansas City. Give me a B for Baltimore, K for Kansas City. Let me know. I'm going B. I got Baltimore in this one. I think Baltimore's a better team, but man, both those defenses are really good. We got another Chiefs. Dang. Are y'all all taking Chiefs? I want Kansas City, but Baltimore by 18. Oh my goodness. B for Baltimore. Okay, now there's some more Baltimore's flying in. So it's a little bit big. Okay, everybody's thinking Baltimore. Okay, I got y'all. All right, chat. Now, we know who y'all are going to pick, okay? So the question is more so this. Dang, I guess it really isn't a question, to be honest with you. I mean, if we're looking at this, man, Lions +7, there's a lot of B's in the chat. Okay, a lot of people rolling Baltimore. I'm with y'all. I think I was 4-0 last week. So, unfortunately, I can't win. I'm very, very disappointed in that. But I'm competing. Michael Banks is straight fire on. Oh, yeah. Keep an eye on game day. Michael Banks might be showing up in some way, shape, or form. Just saying. Yeah. All right. Lions, San Fran. Chat. How disrespectful is this? How disrespectful is Lions +7? Let me know. Scale 1 to 10. Is this disrespectful? 1, it's not disrespectful. 10, most disrespectful thing you've ever seen. It's like when the people throw the cheese on their dog's head. That's disrespectful. Is it that? Is it me throwing a slice of provolone on the dog? Or is it like, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I do the same thing. I hope I get no ones in here. I got a 10. Love the disrespect. Okay, so it is disrespectful, but Art's saying he loves it. Hell yeah, BetUS legit. Hey, shout out to BetUS, man. Shout out to BetUS, man. They're hooking us up, and they've hooked us up all year long. I've been close to hitting. I'm gonna try, man. I think we're gonna hit something this week. Okay, there's a lot of high numbers in here. So yeah, man, this is what you can get in on. Of course, I always point out the markets just because, like, if no one's done this or you've seen me do it, and you don't know how to do it, I'm telling you, this is a spot to be. Go to markets, go to game props, build a parlay ticket. I'm going to be probably building one again this weekend. This is where I've had my most success. I've been questionable on the other things, but the parlay tickets, I've actually been pretty accurate. So I'm going to kind of go back to that. You can see all the sport options that they have as well as the props builder. And then, of course, you also have other options just like, and let me go to their homepage here, outside of sports book, if you want to get on maybe some of their casino games and things like that. But great customer service, 24/7. Text, email, easy to get in contact with them. But then, yeah, also, I know some people are into this stuff, so get into the casino games too. But yeah, use that top link in the description, man. I mean, especially if you're a first time, because you're gonna get a little bonus that goes on with it if you deposit $100. So if you want to support over here and you want to do sports betting, this is the place to do it because it also supports me. So shout out to BetUS, top link in the description. And let's get back, man. Let's get back. We'll see. It's 2:00, so we'll see. Make sure you didn't text me. Oh, also, I'm gonna play this quick little clip while I'm doing this. Let me play this quick clip. That way it's not stuck while I'm trying to talk. So, BetUS. Here's a quick message.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right. Get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
All right. Shout out to BetUS, man. Top link in the description, man. They're a partner all season long, man. So make sure you show them some love. Show them some love, man. They got me into this stuff, so I appreciate them. Okay. Our Niners guy is not going to make it. So we still got about 20 minutes before I'm going to transition over. Top link in the comment section is where I'm going to go at 2:30. So if you do want to, and this is the thing, this is why this is positive. Y'all are thinking, dang, we ain't going to get the Niners guy. No, you are at 2:30. I'm going to go over there. And I think we're just going to be discussing a lot about this Lions-Niners guy, but it's with the Niners guy. I think Grant Cohn is going to be in there as well as the Niners guy. So we know he's a big representative there, and it's going to be pretty sweet. So we got still a little collab going on. It's just not going to happen at 2. I was going to try to kind of squeeze that in, but it was late notice. So that's really on me. I didn't prepare for that, but it's all good. It's all good. What an amazing run. Absolutely. 49ers guy couldn't make it, just an interview. Just interview a garbage. Dang, that's messed up. Hey. No. Don't say just kidding. It's that week. It's acceptable this week. No, hey, we love my man Naylor. Shout out to Jesse Naylor. But this week is acceptable, chat. Hey, did y'all see that? TD, if you guys keep up with any of the Bleacher Report stuff, which you should, by the way, you should. Because again, this week, TD had a trash can. I've never seen this. He had the jersey basically of Josh Allen, the 1-7 to set Allen on a trash can. Dog, we got to get something like that for like Jordan Love or something. And like, that's no hate on Jordan Love, but just because of the disrespect that has to be there, right? There has to be like a disrespect. I don't know about y'all. Okay, I was thinking about this last night. Tell me if I'm crazy. Do you guys think this could turn into kind of like the rivalry for the Lions? I know you could be thinking like, well, that's setting the bar high. I get that, but I also think I also keep in mind like the Niners they're not the youngest team in the world, right? So we'll see how long this goes. Brock Purdy's obviously cheap, but they're not the youngest team. But do we think that this could become kind of like the Lions out of division like rivalry? Like where this is like, man, wait till we get to see those two teams play again. Like, I feel like we had that sort of in the AFC for a minute. Cincinnati, Kansas City was kind of like that. Then obviously the injury to Burrow. And then also, Buffalo, Kansas City is kind of still that. Like, could this be kind of the thing in the NFC? Like, I felt like for a long time, doesn't mean we play every year, but it was the Cowboys, right? It was the Cowboys, it was the Lions. Do you think it could turn into kind of be more San Fran? I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. I don't like Cowboys, man. So Cowboys ain't bad, but yeah. Okay, this is also what I wanted to show. Let me get this pulled up. Just this little conversation piece, man, because we haven't talked about it at all. I think someone asked about Aaron Glenn, right? I don't think I have the full list of teams he's interviewed with, but I know he's interviewed in a lot of the similar places as Ben Johnson. Only thing I'll say about this with Aaron Glenn is I'm pretty sure Ben Johnson's getting a job, but I believe there's only a couple of like head coaching positions available. I think only like 2 right now. I mean, that could change, but it's pretty light because McCarthy stayed in Dallas, Philly kept Sirianni. Like, it's not that deep from what I can tell. I'm pretty sure that they passed on Belichick, at least as of now in Atlanta, right? So maybe that ends up the spot. Washington would be still available, right? Washington's still available. So there's at least 2. I guess there could be more, but there's at least 2. Washington and Seattle. What about Atlanta? Did they hire somebody? Or are you kind of assuming like I thought Belichick would make a ton of sense there, by the way. But Washington and Seattle, okay. Well, Seattle could. I could see that. I mean, for me with Seattle, if they wanted to stick to kind of, if they wanted to go like another player's coach kind of route, but also a defensive mind, Aaron Glenn would make sense there, right? Players love him. That would make sense. Also, I think offensively, they've had a lot of success. Maybe you want to kind of stay on top of that and you're like, hey, let's get Ben Johnson. But I think offensively, they've had a lot of success for what they've had. I mean, they got playmakers, but so maybe that's the thing. Like, hey, we got a lot of playmakers. This guy could go crazy here. Their offensive line's not that great, but their defense, I feel like, has a lot more playmakers than what they're getting out of them. And I also think that with Seattle, the cornerback position that they have, Tariq, obviously Witherspoon, we're interested seemingly in him. They have him. I think based on the personnel too, I think Seattle would be a good fit for Aaron Glenn. I'm not saying I want him to leave. I like Aaron Glenn. We did a show over there too where we talked about Aaron Glenn. I'm a fan of him. Not to say everything's perfect, but man, I think he gets too much hate. And that makes sense. I mean, it does. Like, everybody gets hate when the game's going on, especially. But like, I think that would make sense for him. I think it'd be a good fit. And then Washington, to be honest, I think Ben can fit anywhere. Washington will draft a quarterback, so he'll have to deal with a rookie. They also have Sam Howell. I like Sam Howell, but they're gonna draft somebody. So Bet US parlay lock. My man Richie, I see you. Of the week, Detroit +7 and Lions over their team total and Gibbs longest rush over 14.5 yards. Oh, that's 14.5. Talk about disrespect, bro. 14.5. I think anybody will pay Ben $15 million. See, that's the thing. I don't know what everybody else gets paid. I know Harbaugh apparently got a massive deal. I would say yes. I guess it depends on how much the ownership has to pay, right? Because I don't think Washington's in a fantastic state to give out a ton of money after the Rivera situation, but I could be wrong on that. But I do think he'd be a good fit. I do think Glenn would be a good fit in Seattle. I think that would make sense for him. So, yeah, I think that would make sense. All right, I want to move to. Hold up. I want to show a couple of graphics before we get out of here because I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen these. Anyone going to watch party at Ford Field? Hey, is anybody going? I don't see that's the thing. I don't want to tell y'all what we're going to do because I don't know if I can yet because we still have to finalize some things. But stay tuned. This is what I'm going to do. Saturday, whether I'm live or not, by Saturday in the community tab, I should release what we're doing for Sunday. Right? Maybe I'll even do a quick upload. Be like, here's what we're doing. So if you guys want to kind of get in on that, I'll kind of break it down for you. So stay tuned for that. All right. Stay tuned for that. It will not be at Ford Field, though. I do know that. It will not be at Ford Field. Okay. I want to show a couple things. First thing I want to show, my prediction is Lions beat Niners 31-10. 31-10. Dang. My initial one was 31-19. So I don't hate that at all. I did kind of pull back a little bit, made it a little bit closer because I think the issue is San Fran is going to get too many explosives and they can specifically early. And so I think for me, challenge is limit explosives, keep it close. Like my man said, long drives, and then get turnovers as the game rolls on. That's kind of how I think we can play this thing. And if that works, I mean, obviously we'll do well. John Snyder once interviewed Detroit for GM. John Snyder. That was kind of recent though, wasn't it? Or is this old? I feel like I remember talking about John Snyder. J-Mo kick return touchdown. Hey, yo, that'd be fire. Jared Goff has to be considered for league MVP. I mean, you would think, right? Hey, let me go to that. All right. So, chat. This is Jared Goff's numbers. I want to make a point with this. Any word on Khalif or Houston? Khalif, I don't think is going to play. I don't think he's going to play. James Houston, I think he'll play, but it does sound like it was a full injury thing that Aaron Glenn was worried about there. Even though he's practiced the last 2 weeks in full, I think he'll play. Not sure on Khalif. It doesn't sound great with Khalif, but I do think it would be great to have him, especially against this team. Khalif was huge against San Fran back in 2021, but I do think Houston's going to play. Because Romeo didn't really pop, so I also don't think there's a reason not to keep him out there, or at least give him some snaps. And I also think we're going to be utilizing DBs. I think we're going to see a ton of Brian Branch, so I don't think it's the exact same matchup as last week, which is why I feel Houston will play, just like Michael said. So these are Goff statistics, including postseason. Pay Ben and keep him here. I'm with you. I'm with you, man. Remember we heard, I think it was like last offseason that they gave out raises, right, to these guys? I think that's what we heard last off. I don't know what that was, but I don't know. I don't know what that was. Yeah, 6-day stat. And that probably feels right. I'm not mad at that. Like I said, even if it's just third down situations, hopefully you get him to a lot of them. I'm not even mad at that. I'm really not mad at that. The issue with James, I don't know if that would be an issue, but the thing is that if he's on the line of scrimmage, they're going to throw a lot of doubles at him, or they'll throw a tackle at him. They're going to throw multiple bodies at him. So it could be a little bit difficult for him to handle the edge, which I don't think the Lions are going to love. The positive we know is that he can drop into coverage, which could be impactful. I don't think we're going to blitz a ton though. So I don't know. I'm with you. I think just having him on pass downs is key. But guys, Goff stats were incredible this year. I also used PFF on the bottom there. Win kept clean, second highest grade. Under pressure, obviously the stats aren't great. The yards are good. Yards per attempt is solid. The interceptions aren't. Play action offense. And then on the bottom, let me just kind of flip this up real quick. Because if you look at the bottom here, can I move myself? I think I can. Dang, I can't move myself. What the heck? Okay. He had the most attempts in the regular season, or not the most, excuse me. He had the 5th most attempts in the regular season. So this has not even including playoffs. And his stats were 23 touchdowns. That was 5th in the league. He had 11 interceptions, 5th in yards, and 10th in completion percentage. So he's did a lot of no play action, was still very effective. Those are great stats. There you go. Now, this is the real stat, though, I focus on, because this is obviously great, right? The improvements, and I showed some clips. Like I said, we did a full episode of this on Bleacher Report, and it's still up there. If you go to my page, you just go to my events, you'll find it. But this is what I want to show. This, I think, puts it in perspective for a lot of people, because to me, this is what stood out. So, Chad, you've probably heard this because a lot of people have talked about this. We've talked about it before, too, when Stafford was here, which was you either have to have Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, even though Brady in his 9 Super Bowl appearance was never in the top 5 cap hits. So keep that in mind. You have to have a Hall of Fame quarterback. Stafford got thrown into that in his 1 year with the Rams because of his cap hit plus the other quarterback cap hit. Or Matt Ryan, I think twice maybe, that got to the conference championship. So you either have to have that, or you have to have a rookie deal, or you can't go. So everybody was about get the rookie deal. And that's why a lot of people did not want to pay Goff early, which made sense, right? We knew we had an out when we picked him up. But here we are. It sounds like he's going to get extension. And here's why I think, in a way, it's hard to find an argument that's very clean against not doing it. Look at these numbers, chat. This is the cap percentage that Jared Goff took up this year. 13.7%. Third highest for any individual quarterback. Now, that's not the whole quarterback room, but for any individual quarterback, it was the third highest. And as you can see, it was the second highest currently in the playoffs. And he has us in the NFC Championship. He essentially has broken the mold going back over a decade of what we know is either you're a Hall of Fame level or you're on a rookie deal. So either he's a Hall of Fame level quarterback and he's put himself in that conversation because he's not on the rookie deal. So this, to me, gives me a big confidence boost in terms of there's really no reason to not pay him. He's durable. He'll be 30 next year, right, in October. So he's not that old either. He's playing and improving every single year. The stats are good. Third highest. And he has us in the NFC Championship game. So it's like, when you think about that, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, so what if we extend him, right? Well, now there's different ways to do it. Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts, we saw he got his extension, a lot of like option bonuses. We saw it with Herbert, a lot of accelerators. We saw it with Lamar, it was just backloaded. We saw it with Mahomes, where it was like a 10-year deal, but most of the money was put to the back of the deal, and they're going to restructure it likely going forward. But here's why this is exciting, chat, because not only does this give me kind of like a safety of like, oh, wait a minute. We already know that even if he does get paid and he falls into the top 3, we can still make the NFC Championship with him. But when you start to look at this is what really stands out. Watch this, chat. Let me see if I got it on here. Hold up. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. At the top, his next year's cap hit is 32 million roughly. Right? Roughly. Wait. It looks like the second highest. Who am I missing? But it looks like the second highest. Who am I missing? Well, I don't think I put every player. I only put the playoff on here. These are only playoff quarterbacks. So I don't know who the second highest was top of my head. Trying to think. Maybe it was like Herbert or something. Or who would it have been? Would it have been Lamar? No, it wouldn't have been Lamar. It would have been Burrow, maybe. Wait, is that right? I don't know. These are just playoff quarterbacks still, so that's why he's not on this list. But if you look at this, Jared Goff's cap number is set to be 11th next season because he got paid so early with the LA Rams, and that's why they had to trade off picks. So what the Lions basically did, right, if we're talking about who won the trade, that kind of thing, the Lions in a way kind of fleeced the Rams. Here's why. Not to say the Rams lost it, right, because the Rams won, they won their Super Bowl. They did their thing. But for the Lions side of things, because Goff got paid early and because they want to get off of it, and it's kind of like some other quarterbacks where it's like really difficult to get off their deal because what teams are doing is they're giving long extensions. They're kind of putting the money in the back, but it's hard to move off them. Yeah, 0.4% is ridiculous. That's seventh round quarterback. It's ridiculous. And they have cap space still. But at the same time, like when you look at 2024, it's set at 11th. Okay, and we don't even have extensions coming in yet. So if you look at the players that he's above cap number wise next year, and again, he's already under contract. We don't even have to touch this. We can extend beyond this. He's only above Geno Smith, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Voidier, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Tua, who hasn't got paid yet. That's it. Everybody else hasn't got paid, essentially. It could be Burrow. That's it. So what I'm saying is like, okay, we've already basically seen the worst of what the cap situation could be. So what the Lions did, and this is what I was trying to showcase in the show. So if you ask yourself, okay, well, how is this working for the Lions? Here's to me how Brad Holmes is in a way made this work. Obviously, Goff has played well too. I appreciate you, man. I was watching your recent game. Thank you. I apologize. Those are so long, man. There's just so much in there. And I know that when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, I left this out. I should have put this in there, but it just gets too long. Brad Holmes took their 2 first-round picks because of the big deal. And they were like, man, we got to get off this somehow. And it was like, hey, you're not getting off that thing for free. Give me 2 first rounds, give a third. So he took those and he hit on picks. But also, what he's done outside of that, if you remember, his first year here was the COVID year, so there was little cap. On top of that, we didn't have much cap because of all the dead money. What he's done is he's taken the draft picks plus not much cap space, and he's hit so much on the draft. Look at some of these draft picks. Penei Sewell, Levi, Ali McNeil, Iffy, St. Brown, Barnes. First year, he just had to pick to win a game. Throw Jerry in that mix. We've had UDFAs that were big time too. Hutchinson, Jameson, Pascal, Kirby Joseph, James Mitchell. This year, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Brandt. Some of our best players are this. Then you start to look at the free agent hits. I mean, look at this. These are like some of our most impactful players. Josh Reynolds, $4 million cap hit. Graham Glasgow, starting right guard, one of the better guards in the league, 2.68. The worst ones we have are honestly Charles Harris, who was impactful last year, but I know he hasn't done much this year, but I was like, I got to put him on there because his cap hit, it doesn't look great, but he was impactful before this year. Romeo Cora, right? He was the big extent. He was the one like big deal we give. You guys remember when Brad first came here? He wasn't even giving multi-year deals. Only thing he did was give out an extension to Romeo because we didn't have any money. So they gave out the extension to Romeo. His injury, unfortunately, kind of just derailed that whole thing. But they also got the pay cut this year. And then Tracy Walker. And the only reason really he's not playing is because the safety play has been so good. If he's taken off, and Brian Branch is not giving up his spot. So it's like, well, someone's got to play somewhere. CD Deuce can't play in the slot. He's got to play at safety because Brian Branch can't come off the field. So Walker's not playing. But even that, it's not like the Lions are like, man, they're dealing with all this dead cap that they gave out these huge deals to. These impactful players are not expensive. Montgomery, Kaminsky, Anzalone, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, Benito Jones, CD Deuce, throw them into that mix. Now, we are seeing a lot of these deals got backloaded, chat. Bet US future bet on Goff to win the MVP of the Super Bowl is juicy. It's plus 1,000, right? Very juicy. What we are seeing is that a lot of some of these deals, like Alex's deal, Monty's deal, they got backloaded. But I think also some of that, because it's all about timing, right? Within the contract, my man just said like 55 million. It's all about timing, right? So it wouldn't shock me if Brad Holmes was looking at this saying, in a way, preparing for like, okay, here's where his number's going. And if we do extend him, because the Lions extend Goff, we'll have to see how they do it. Initially, I thought maybe they'd front load it. That way they could get out of it in the back end if they wanted to. I would expect it to be like a 3 to 4 year kind of thing if they do it, right? Push him through 33, 34 years old. If they do it like most other teams, they'll kind of push a lot of the big money to the back. They'll throw some guarantees in there, but they'll kind of push some of the big money to the back. And the biggest thing they'll want flexibility in terms of is just, can they get out of the deal after like 3 years? That kind of thing. But to be honest, if he gets extended, unless you're extending it for like 1 or 2 years, you're not really setting up a direct path for Hendon Hooker to step in, unless Jared Goff just plays terrible and you have to get off the deal. But I think with some of these extensions that you gave out, it's almost like preparing for that because Montgomery, Alex Anzalone, their cap numbers go up. Cam Sutton goes way up after this year. But at the same time, Goff's cap percentage drops. And as long as the salary cap rises, he essentially has the same cap number he did this year, next year. So if let's say the cap goes up 15 million, it's like you're basically adding an extra 15 million. Now that just goes to the other players that's cap numbers went up. Then on top of that, man, I mean, look, this whole thing is wild. It would just basically balance itself out. Then on top of that, he has outs that he put in there for a lot of these guys. So a lot of the 3-year deals that he gave out this year, a lot of the guys they can get off after 2 years. Cam Sutton, Alex Anzalone, Montgomery even. A lot of these guys they can get off after 2 years. And I'll show that last graphic real quick here. Let me see. Not that one. Yeah, right here. Right here. See a lot of these deals they can get off of here. I mean, look at this. Hold up. Monty, you can see the out there. Anzalone's out. You can see Raymond has it out. Cam Sutton has it out. Ragdoll has it out, but he's not going anywhere. I mean, the key has been just build up the offensive line, and they've done that. So all I'm saying is I don't think it's a hard decision to make with Goff's extension. It's going to happen, and they've done an incredible job. He's done a great job, and so has the team building. They've done it so well and so fast and used all these resources to their advantage, took advantage of the 2 first-round picks. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, shoot, we're doing something that other teams just have really never done. This is kind of historic in a way. It kind of is, because no one would have recognized him as a Hall of Fame type of quarterback until – and this is what's happening, right? So I'm just saying, man. But if he loses multiple champ and Super Bowl again, then we need to pull a Rams, get rid of – wait. If we win the Super Bowl, I don't care if Goff gets $500 million. Oh, dang. You give him that 10 or you give him that Mahomes deal. All right, chat. This is what we got to do, man. Would I extend Jonah? I don't think so, but we'll have to see how that's a tough one. I mean, it depends what the number is. I don't think I would because I assume his number's going to get pretty high. But yeah, I don't think I would. But if the number's not crazy, I mean, I'd be fine with it. I'd definitely try to bring back Glasgow if he's not going to retire. All right, chat. We got to move over. Check us out. That top link in the comment section, I'm about to go talk to a Niners guy. We're about to chat about this game. So if you want to hear us talk a little bit more about this little preview, that's where we're going to live, man. Join us over there. I appreciate y'all joining. This was kind of like a little pre-show. It was not timed up the best, but we're here. So I appreciate y'all joining, man. Just kind of on like a random thing, but I'm not going anywhere. Just click that top link. Come join us. We're about to do a show at 2:30 Eastern that starts on BetUS TV, and we're about to talk about Lions-Rams. So come join us, man. How many sacks does Hutch have overall? At least 2. Link. It should be in the top of the chat. It should be pinned at the top of the chat. Is it not? Okay, let me get it. Let me get it real quick, chat. Let me go get it. Yeah, let me get it real quick. It's not pinned. I think if you just look up BetUS TV, it pops up. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it. BetUS TV on YouTube, by the way. I mean, maybe you'll do it on their website. I don't know. Is it that fancy? Maybe it is, man. Yeah, I'm gonna put their channel link in the comment section. So if you go to that, you'll see it'll pop up 2:30. Didn't know that was me in the pick. I don't know where they got that from, bro. I don't know where they got that from. All right, we out. Appreciate y'all joining. I'll see y'all over there.